Hi, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. I literally cannot believe it is 2026. It feels so crazy to say, especially because, just a couple years ago, this date seemed so far away. And now we're here. And now we're adults, or we're living life. And it's just crazy. Reflecting on the past year, there's definitely some things I would change, some things that I absolutely adored. It's so crazy to me how in just a couple short years, life can change so drastically, and for the better or for the worse. Everything just keeps on keeping on. I literally have so many new goals for this new year, and I absolutely love that New Year's just brings such motivation. We need to really try to bring this type of positivity and overwhelming desire to continue this, every day of our life and not just January 1st. And that's kind of going to be my goal for the new year, is just when I plan stuff, stick to what I plan and become a better version of myself. I really think 2026 is going to be my year, and I'm hoping that in December of 2026, I'm not doing like a reflection and going, that was terrible. I hope I never experience that again. I hope I look back and go, I am so proud, of current you for doing what you did. So anyway, maybe I'll reflect in the future, maybe I won't, but I'm so grateful 2026 is here. I'm so grateful that I've lived to see another year. I'm so grateful that you have lived to see another year. And I know that's not what this is about. You're here for my January TBR, and we are gonna jump into that. So today I'm letting a color generator, pick my January TBR. So for this year, I am doing my biggest book goal ever, and I want to read 100 books in 2026. Will I get to 100? I don't know. I feel like, to me, this is a loosely based goal, as in I want to achieve that number, but I'm not going to be mad or upset at myself or anything if I don't get there. In 2025, I believe I read 77-ish. I'm not sure. I'll make a final video once, everything is done. But to achieve my 100 book goal, I have to read 8 to 9 books every month. And I also have a 26 for 2026 where I have to read 2 or 3 of those books every month. So what I'm going to do is I'll generate a color and try to match it with something on my 26 for 2026 first. Then if it doesn't match that, then I'll go to just my regular shelves. If I get to 2 or 3 on my 26 for 2026, then I'll just go to my shelves automatically if I want to. Without further ado, let's jump in. And today I think we are going to go ahead and pick 9 books. So here is the color, and we are going to just generate right here. Oh, it's called Squirrel Gray. Okay, let's see if we can find anything with this color. So I think I found one on my list that fits the prompt, and that would be The Lions of Fifth Avenue by Fiona Davis. So just to compare, kind of matches the top the most. I do not have a lot of gray books, so I'm thinking this might be one of the closest regardless of if I went off the list or my shelves. This is a lot to explain, so I'm just gonna read the synopsis. It's 1913, and on the surface, Laura Lyons couldn't ask for more out of life. Her husband is the superintendent of the New York Public Library, allowing their family to live in an apartment within the grand building. And they are blessed with 2 children. Headstrong, passionate Laura wants more, and when she takes a leap of faith and applies to the Columbia Journalism School, her world is cracked wide open. As her studies take her all over the city, she is drawn to Greenwich Village's New Bohemian, where she discovers the Heterocracy Club, a radical all-female group in which women are encouraged loudly to share their opinions on suffrage, birth control, and women's rights. Soon, Laura finds herself questioning her traditional role as a wife and a mother. But when valuable books are stolen at the library, threatening the home and institution she loves, She's forced to confront her shifting priorities head on and may just lose everything in the process. 80 years later, in 1993, Sadie Donovan struggles with the legacy of her grandmother, the famous essayist Lauren Lyons, especially after she's wrangled her dream job as a curator at the New York Public Library. But the job quickly becomes a nightmare when rare manuscripts, notes, and books for the exhibit Sadie's runnings begin disappearing from the library's famous bird collection. Determined to save both the exhibit and her career, the typically risk-averse Sadie teams up with a private security expert to uncover the culprit. However, things unexpectedly become personal when the investigation leads Sadie to some unwelcoming truths about her own family heritage. Truths that shed new light on the biggest tragedy in the library's history. That sounds so good. I'm ready to read this, like, literally today. Like, that sounds so good. Little context. Fiona Davis, I've only read one of her books before, and I read The Spectacular, and I gave that book 5 stars. That book had me sobbing, giggling. I loved it, and I feel like this one's just going to be another hit. I'm hoping my expectations aren't too high, but honestly, they're through the roof for this one. I am so excited. So that makes number 1 on our January TBR. If you keep noticing me taking my glasses off and on, it's just because I don't like the way the light reflects. Because like when the light reflects, I feel like I can see every speck of dust and it annoys the crap out of me. So that's why. Okay, let's go ahead. We're gonna generate color 2. Maybe, oh, okay. Red, orange. Okay, that was easy. That one was easy compared to Squirrel Gray. Her One Regret, this is by Donna Freitas. This is also on my 26 for 2026. This is about a mother who goes missing, and her best friend, she had told, I guess, like days prior or weeks prior or something like that, like, she didn't want to be a mother. She didn't want to have a baby. So the baby is born and then like abandoned in a parking lot or something, and she's gone. And her best friend's the only one that knows the truth, and it kind of goes from there. I've heard it's like more like a mystery thriller. So yeah, I don't want to know more than that, so I don't want to read the synopsis. I really do want to go into it blind because I feel like thrillers are always better blind. But this is going to be number 2 on our TBR. Okay, for number 3, okay, I hate when we get the same shades. Pearl orange. Pearl orange. Okay, so the closest one I found for Pearl Orange is Hannah Tate Beyond Repair. Now, I've had this one on my shelves for a while, so I'm actually glad to kind of be getting to it. I feel like this challenge or this way of picking my TBR is definitely helping me branch out because I'm not looking for books that I necessarily really want to read. I'm looking for books that really match. So this one sounds so different and so cute. So pretty much we're following Hannah, who finds this engagement ring in her boyfriend's closet, and all she can think is, finally, I'm getting engaged. She has a new baby with this guy, and when they go to dinner, he reveals that he's dumping her. He is not proposing. Yikes. Heartbroken, she takes herself and her new baby and moves back in with her parents. As she's moving in with her parents, her mom and her stepfather, she discovers that her mom's cabin can actually prevent her mother from going broke again. It just needs fixing up. And so she hires the carpenter next door, and if you can't tell, a romance starts brewing. I am honestly so excited for this. I think it sounds so cute, and I had never actually read the synopsis before because I pick up a lot of books without reading the synopsis. So yeah, I am actually so excited. This sounds perfect to start the new year with. I hope I love it. So yeah, that's gonna be number 3 on our TBR. I lost my page and had to refresh, but let's go ahead and pick our next color. That was an ugly color. Okay, green brown. Let's see what I can find. After looking over my shelves, I really don't think I have a color that resembles this green brown. If I did, I totally overlooked it. So we're gonna go ahead. Hold No. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and redo this one. Pearl Ruby Red. Okay, I should have something like that. I think that this one is our closest, and this is Endless Anger by Sam Miller. It says, the pomegranate doesn't fall far from the tree. Asher Anderson is angry. At the world, at himself, at the way his best friend turned obsession, Lucy Wolfe, seems determined to ignore the searing heat between them. He doesn't mean to solve all of his problems with violence, but maybe that's why he has too much of his father in him. That's why the faculty at the ultra-exclusive university hate him, right? Because of the evil blood in his veins? He should know better than to darken the ivy-colored university's doors, but it's practically a law of the universe. Wherever Lucy goes, Asher follows. Even if that means entering a twisting labyrinth of secret societies, human sacrifices, and a very personal history soaked in his family's blood. This TBR is becoming so stellar. I am loving this. Okay, more gray. Umbra gray. I think for this one, we have to go with Huntsman. Huntsman is a mafia romance by Naima Simone. I am so sorry if I mispronounced that. I love a good Snow White retelling or anything like princessy retellings. The Huntsman is after me, but he will be mine first. 9 years ago, my aunt took everything for me. My world, my throne, my mother. I've bided my time since then, serving under her crime family, but she's crossed another line. She put a price on my head, sending the legendary assassin, the Huntsman, Malachi Bowden, after me. The Huntsman's never failed a contract before, but I know everything there is to know about him. It's finally time for me to take my revenge and finish the war my aunt has started. The Huntsman might be my death, but Malachi Bowden, he's my weakness. Welcome to the Hunted Kingdom. Literally, I know I've said it so many times, but this is going to be such a good freaking TBR to start the year. Or maybe I just buy good books. Okay, we are picking number 6, which leaves 3 more to pick. Okay, I'm going again because I've gotten gray twice. I want a different color. Okay, green. Pentina green. Let's see. This should be pretty easy. I feel like most things are green. Okay, I don't have it in here with me, but the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I believe it's the same color green. Let me double check with my iPad. It's about a reclusive, aging Hollywood star named Evelyn Hugo who decides to tell her story of her glamorous and scandalous life to an unknown magazine reporter. She reveals her rise to fame, her 7 marriages, and a central forbidden love affair. This book explores themes of ambition, love, betrayal, and identity, delving into the realities of the old Hollywood and sacrifices made from fame, including Evelyn's hidden bisexuality and her relationship with a fellow actress. Oh, and it looks like it's actually on Netflix too. I didn't know that. Okay, cool. This is probably, like I've said this in my 26 for 2026, this is probably my least exciting one because I feel like all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books do not sound good to me, but then I read them and they end up being like 4 and 5 stars. So I feel like I'm really gonna like it. It just doesn't sound good, if that makes sense. Like Atmosphere, I hate space, and Carrie Soto is back. I don't care about tennis, but both of those got 4 and 5 star ratings. So if it's gray or red, I'm re-rolling, just so you guys know. Pearl Copper. It's like a brown, so I'll accept it. It's pushing my buttons. Okay, For Pearl Hopper, I feel like this might be the closest one. Like his shirt, like his outfit fully is gonna match, and like her little belt, like they're a little off, but they're pretty similar. I've heard nothing but good reviews about this one. So this is called He Who Will Die. This is by Stasia Stark. The Vaxes Kill or Be Killed. I have a cute little matching bookmark. So this book is from L'Oreal, and it is like a sister company to Book of the Month. But anyway, beside the point, it says, life in the Pearliest Thorn District is a constant battle for Arvel and her younger brothers, and the vampire standing on her doorstep is about to turn their world upside down. Faced with unthinkable choices, Arvel makes a magically binding vow to the impossible. Kill the Emperor, an ancient vampire created by the god Umbros, but first she must enter the Surge Ring, an arena where only the fastest, strongest, and deadliest survive long enough to be selected for the Emperor's elite guard. She quickly draws the ire of Primus, the powerful figure charged with protecting the Emperor, but the vampire under the armor is the last person Arvel expects to encounter. With her brother's lives in the balance, Arvel has no choice but to ally with the man who once shattered her heart, and with the Emperor's sadistic son, Rorik, two vampires whose motives are impossible to pin down. Rorik holds the key to understanding the powers Arvel is developing, abilities that would put a price on the head if discovered by the Emperor. To survive the arena and complete the mission, Arvel must get to the bottom of the conspiracy that will change everything she thought she knew about herself and the two vampires who are deeply entwined with her destiny. I had no clue this had vampires in it, but gladiator arena, vampires, that is my cup of tea. Ew, that is such an ochre yellow. This is the closest one I'm gonna find, and if you compare like the bottom parts, it kind of matches. Okay, so the night ship. It says 1629, a newly orphaned girl named McKin is bound for the Dutch East Indies on the Batavia, one of the greatest ships on the Dutch Golden Age. Curious and mischievous, McKin spends the long journey going on misadventures above and below deck, searching for mythical monsters, but the true monsters might be closer than she thinks. 1989, a lonely boy named Gil, who after the death of his mother is sent to live with his grandfather, a taciturn fisherman off the coast of Western Australia among the members of the seasonal fishing community where his late mother once lived. There, on the tiny reef-shrouded island, he discovers the story of an infamous shipwreck. And it says, based on real-life events, an epic historical novel from an award-winning author. When I know things are true, like true stories, it makes me sob uncontrollably harder if something happens. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. But this makes number 9, so let's review what we have. The first one on our TBR is The Lions of Fifth Avenue, Her One Regret, Hannah Tate Beyond Repair, Endless Anger, Huntsman, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, We Who Will Die, and finally, The Night Ship. Thank you if you stuck around to the end of my video. I know it was long. I appreciate you guys so much. If you wouldn't mind to hit that like, subscribe, bell icon, whatever the buttons say down here to do, that would be fantastic. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and if you have any questions, comments, or want to tell me if you like these books or not, or have any ideas for future videos, feel free to drop them in the comments. Thank you guys.